Ah, welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the stream, and welcome back to another video. Another one where I'm building this Trans Am here. This guy here. And looks like my camera's a little off center, so let's just fix this here. That's a little bit better. I actually got some kind of funky thing going on top here. Why I've got another window showing that, I do not know. That is a bit strange. Almost like I got a third camera. Oh well. Anyway, so what are we doing? We are going to be finishing this thing today, actually. I got the paint laid down, as you can see, and I ran into some issues, especially on the hood, and I had to do a bunch of work on the hood to get it smoothed out and decent. And so what I did was wet sanded it with some 2000 grit sandpaper and sanded it down, got it kind of smooth, and then I put the decals on. As you can tell, I got a decal on there now, nice great big bird. Got the decals put on, and then I laid down a clear coat, let that set, and then I polished it out with Tamiya's polishing compound, and my Dremel. Very careful. I know I didn't show you guys that process, but I just, you know, it was a bit of a give and take. I didn't want to screw it up, and I wanted to, well, I mean, I don't mind showing you guys if I screw something up. That's not an issue for me, but just being able to concentrate more on the process of it, without, you know, it takes a lot more to actually show you guys what I'm doing than to just concentrate on that. So anyway, so this is our finished product of the body. Anyway, that's what she's looking like now. Looks nice and shiny and glossy. Let me change the camera here for you. So yeah, if I run this around through the light, you can see some of the imperfections in it, but I think when this is just sitting on a shelf and you're looking at it from about a foot or so away, it's going to look pretty nice. So yeah, we just got to do the finishing touches on this little baby and get that done. Get her done, right? So let's take a look what our next steps were. We've got all the undercarriage all done. We've got the interior all finished. That's ready to go. So flip our page here. We got the rear bumper done. So next step is going to be putting in our tail lights. So we have our tail lights here. And I'll grab my glue. And let's just put this over here for now, because it looks like we're going to be concentrating on some body stuff first. So let's change camera again and let's see how we do. So tail lights, very simply just go in here and they just kind of drop in. There's definitely it's flat on the back here, and then you have all the ribbed detail on the face. So that should just be able to drop right in and sit just like that, and just sit like that. Yeah. So do a nice little streak of glue all the way along. Make sure I got it facing the right way. I almost put it on backwards. There we go. Just make sure it's down all the way. There we go. So there's the tail lights. You might notice that there's kind of a black in the center there, a darker color, because the real car, that's where the gas cap is, and that piece does not actually reflect any red in the real thing. So I wanted to do that just to have that slight variation in the color, so you know it's not just one big red bar going all the way across. Okay, so that is that. So the next section shows us actually putting the interior in, and putting our headlights on and our front grille, putting in our windshields. So let's put in our windows first. I have my rear window here, and I have my windshield right here. Now, I do have my little Jiffy marker marking that I had done on there to give me some idea of what this is going to look like when it's assembled. So I'm just going to get rid of that with a little bit of alcohol on my rag, and that should get rid of that lickety split. Clean up my window and get rid of that marking. Crystal clear. All right. So let's flip her over. I actually do want to, I'm going to do this just to give myself a bit of a softer surface for the roof. So this, slide down in there and sit just like that. So I'm going to use my thin and utilize the capillary action of the thin and totally screw it up. I can't believe I just did that. Look at that. I just ruined my windshield. Instead of running under the thing, it ran down on the window. And I just ruined my window. This kit has been a challenge for me for screwing things up the whole way. The whole way. And at this point, I've gotten this far, so far, and I don't care anymore. I just want it done. I just want it done. Get this thing off of my bench. That sucks. Spend all that time and I go and ruin it. Spend all this time working on this thing, and one little thing like that goes and ruins the whole project. I can honestly say I haven't put glue on a windshield like that since I was a preteen. Back then, when I was a kid, you know, I'd have glue on my fingers or something like that. I've never done that with the glue before, where I just ran it down the window like that and just totally ruin it. That's a first for me. Our back window is not wanting to stay put where it's supposed to. So I'm having to hold it against there. But that's okay. Man, that bugs the hell out of me. Oops. You know what? I do care about that, and that's going to really bug me if I don't at least try to fix that. I need to at least try to fix that. I'm going to see if I can buff that out. Okay, so let's just leave this for now. So, we got a new challenge today, and that's to see if I can buff that glue mark out of there at least a little bit and fix that up. So, I'm going to try my Polish compound. I'm going to try a little buffing wheel here that I use on my aircraft canopies to get rid of that seam line. This is the polishing wheel I used on the body. So I'm not going to use that, I want to use this cotton one. To try and fix this. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see if I can get anywhere with this. I'm going to put this over here where I'm not going to spray anything at it, because it's going to have a tendency to spray. Sometimes it sprays at me, sometimes it sprays everywhere else. Yeah, spray on my shirt. Let's see if I can at least try and get that to be not so rough. Well, it's better. A little bit more on there. I don't want to generate heat and melt it. That would be the last thing I want to do. It's looking better. It's not as bad as it was. Well, I guess it kind of is. Let's try a little more. Again, you don't want to generate heat because you'll just melt the plastic, and that's worse. I have a feeling I've got it as good as it's going to get. So no matter what I do, I'm going to have a blemish there. And well, sometimes that's just life. Sometimes that's just the way it goes, and there's not much I can do about it. So I'll show you. This is where I am at with my window. That little smidge right there. And not much I can do about that because that's actually into the plastic. And unless I want to start burning down into there, that's just the way it's going to be. So that's just the way it's going to be. So let's get this back into position. And let's not do the same thing twice. Okay, let's not do the same thing twice. Alright, so let that sit for a minute while that dries. And we'll take a look at what else we need to do. We need to actually put our interior bucket in. So I know obviously I'm going to have to glue there. How it's going to sit around here is going to be interesting. Let's get this in here. The attachment points on the sides are not super apparent. Obviously it's going to sit flush back here. It might be actually touching the windshield there on the dash, but I don't want to chance that. So let's just get some glue in at the back here. Looks like it might be touching here on the corners. No, it's not. But that's all right. It's really hard to tell. Okay, it is touching at the back of the body here. A little right on these two corners, there and there. Which I'm guessing as soon as I let go of this, it's going to let go itself. But if I just kind of hold it with a little bit of pressure, it should hold it in place. Let that glue set up a little bit. In the meanwhile, while I'm holding this, I'll grab the front grille and headlights, put them on here so I could paint the black surrounds on them in preparation for this. This is one of the things that makes this look more like a toy than an actual model kit, is we got no clear lenses for the headlights. These things just go in like this with no glass. And yes, it looks okay. It also makes it look like a toy. So that is a criticism I have of this, is that it's making it look more toy-like. Little dab there for headlight number 1. Number 2. There is a little bit of slop in these holes, so they don't fit precisely. And this one doesn't fit at all. So let's take that one out, try this one. This one fits. Okay, are you going to fit in this one? Yeah, okay. Okay, what is wrong with this light? Why are you being such a pain? Okay, headlights are in. Now, before I glue these, I want to test fit. Okay. These guys, as much as I wish they would, it doesn't seem like they're pushing in all the way to the back. It's like they're hanging on just their little ridge. So there we go. There's our front end. That's all done. Which now reminds me I need to paint the inserts on the back bumper to match the front. Okay, our back bumper, we've got these two spots here and here. These need to be painted flat black also. So I think this is good. I'm going to put this down like that. Close these up. And I'll grab the same flat black. That's just the Tamiya XF1. That's what I used on the front. So I'll use that same stuff to paint the back. There's one side. And there's the other side. There we go. So now those match. Coming along nicely. Yes, thank you, Yuala. Yeah, we're almost done. So now I got those painted black just like they're supposed to be. Nice black rubber bumper sections, just like on the front. So let's put this away. And I will quickly clean my brush. So I'll put this over here for now. Get my thinner out. Omega Boy. Hello, Omega Boy. Let's just quickly clean my brush here. Okay. All right, let's bring her back. So interior's in, windshield's in, front stuff is, and we have our firewall. Remember, I was looking at this before, a little firewall that needs to go in there, and that's got to go in like this, and looks like we're actually going to be spreading the body apart a little bit to get this in there. Very tight fit. Yeah. So that makes me happy. I did not try to glue it to the interior cut bucket before, because this is now how we have it. The interior, actually the bucket is now crooked. This is flush here. It's really flush on this side, and it's tucked down on the other. So why? Why are we like that? Why is our interior crooked? We're flush at the back. That is definitely going to interfere with how the body, how the undercarriage sits in. Yeah, so our door sill on the inside, on the driver's side here, is almost at the very top, but on the passenger side, it's not all the way up. So why? We're flush here. It's not a matter of being off center. It's all fine and good. But it just, I believe we're going to have a crooked car when I go to put the undercarriage in. It's not going to sit level. So the firewall needs to be glued to this. Like it or not, this is the way it's got to go. Now that's in there, and that's nice and tight and good, and where it needs to be. I'll put a little bit of glue on the sides. Okay, our firewall is in. It's not even really touching, well, it is kind of touching the bucket on this side, but not very solidly. It's really more pressing against the fenders to keep them spread. But why our interior bucket won't sit where it belongs, I don't know. Everything seemed fine. I don't know how many times I test fit this bucket in here and it was fine, but now it's crooked. Strange. Okay. Anyway, so with this all together now, we move down to here. We're going to put our chassis to the body and see how it fits. I'm not anticipating very many good things. With the way this is sitting. I am actually very happy that I lowered the front end, because it looks, the tires are just barely, so it does just kind of sit in there. and it goes right against the bottom of the bucket, so I can put some glue on the bottom of the bucket and that'll hold it in there. So let's just pull this out again so I can put some glue in there. So I'll put some glue along the bottom of the bucket here where it's going to be touching the frame. Well, that's a good spot, I guess. There we go. Put this back in. Put her down. And there we have it. She's in. She's centered. And that's where she's going to stay. There we go. That's a bit better. In the middle. Now you can see the rail, maybe you can't, it's going to be tough. You can see the railing sticking down past the body there, and this side it's a little bit tucked up a little bit better. So the car's not quite, I mean, it looks okay. So that done, we have some little engine components. Now this is something that kind of disappoints me about this kit, is this big gaping hole. If I do this, you might be able to see better. See this big gaping hole between the radiator and the front of the car? The real car has a cover here that goes all the way across. It goes all the way across there on the real thing. So you don't have this big gaping hole staring at you in the face every time you pop the hood. They could have easily molded a piece to either go here or molded it to the front nose or something. Something, you know, to cover there. They could have done that, but they chose not to. And I'm not a scratch builder, so I can't do that myself. Okay, we have the bottom part of our air cleaner goes right on top of the carb. It only fits in one particular little angle, so you got to get that angle right. Just like that. Okay. Now there is a little hose that's supposed to go on there, but they didn't sculpt this properly. This is like a almost like radiator hose, and that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a black flexi hose. And so I know from my experience as a teenager having these cars from the 70s, it was quite common for us to just eliminate that flexi hose and just have that open as an attempt to get more air in there. Of course, what did Pontiac do? Well, Pontiac put in their nice little shaker hood scoop as a way to get more air in there. So that's what I'm going to put on here. It's one of the things that made this Trans Am so cool back in the old days, was this shaker hood scoop that Pontiac used to put on them. We all loved them. We all loved these shaker hood scoops. Lining up the little pins is a bit of a challenge. There we go. I think. No. There we go. That's lined up. Now when the engine rumbles, it goes and it shakes the hood scoop, right? That's why we call them shakers. And with that glued on, the final piece is our nice little hood. The crowning glory of the Pontiac Firebird is the big honking bird on the hood. And there we go. She is done. And I've got some schmutz on the side there. Where I didn't clean up my buffing compound enough. But that's alright. That's just minor little cleanup that needs to be done. Alright, so that's it, guys. That's the 10th anniversary Pontiac Trans Am in all of its blue glory. Yeah. It's not bad. You know, it's been so many years since I've built a car model. And yeah, other than those little problems like with that windshield, other than that little scuff on the windshield, it's not bad. And it's actually kind of forgivable, if I do say so myself. Looks good with the lowered front end. I'm glad that I've got the front tire just barely tucking in under the fender well there. That looks better. I would prefer if the rear one tucked under also, but that's just the way it is. It's a lot better. Oops, there goes the hood. That's a lot better than if it was, you know, I could, if I was really a stickler, I could try and push that up in there, get that little half of a millimeter or whatever to get that to tuck in there and hide, but I don't really need to. But yeah, she came out looking pretty good. She's not too bad. It's not going to win any contests at a modeling show, but it's not bad. My little buffing compound in the crack is bugging me a little bit. Yeah, she's pretty good. She's not bad. So that's it, guys. That is my little Firebird. It's not bad. I'm quite happy with it. I think I could have done worse. I have done worse in the past, actually, so I can't really complain too much. Looks pretty good. So I'll do what I normally do, and I'll take some pictures and put them up on my Instagram and get that all done. She's not bad. Yeah, I'm happy with it. She's alright. Yeah. Anyway, next project. I am kind of up in the air with what I'm going to be doing next. I'm sitting on the fence on, do I continue with my, you know, a little bit of a car fetish that I'm going through right now. I don't know, for lack of a better term. I'm kind of on a car kick right now. I don't know, maybe it's midlife crisis. I wanted some old classic hot rod cars. I don't know. I am happy with how this turned out. I would have actually preferred if you could remove the T-roofs, if they had done the T-roofs in actual clear or a smoked color, and so that you could take them out and put them in. I remember I had an old model of a 78 Mustang, I believe it was. I think it was a 78 Mustang with a T-roof, and you could pull the T-roofs off. They were separate pieces. You could put them in and take them out and whatever. And one thing I don't like about this hood is how it sticks up there in the corner. It doesn't fit quite right. And you get that to sit down and it pops up on the front. But whatever. I'm complaining now. I'm just looking for things to complain about. Again, things to complain about. I didn't like the mirrors. The mirrors have no way of sitting properly on them because they're not molded properly. I mentioned that in the last video. The mirrors are wrong. This hose is wrong. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. I'll put them up, take some pictures of this thing, and I'll put them up on my Instagram so you can take a look at those. As you guys know, I take pictures of everything I've built and I put them up on my Instagram account, so you can have a look at those. If you feel like, head on over to my Twitch channel and hit that subscribe button, and then you can watch me live and watch me do this kind of stuff if you feel like it. And hit that like button down below. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit subscribe on my YouTube channel and you can see future stuff. I might do another car next, I don't know. I might do a helicopter. We'll see. I am just gonna have to mull it over for the next few days and figure out what I'm gonna do next. Right now, I really don't know. So, that being said, that's where I'm gonna leave it here for today. And yeah, we'll figure out what I'm going to do next, and we'll see you all in the next one.